this video, we are going to go over how to graph equations of the form x equals some number and y equals any number. In this case, I picked x equals a random number 4 and y equals -2. How do we deal with that? Well, you translate it literally. So this says x is 4. Let's think about that. If no matter what, x must be 4 the whole time, that means that the x-coordinate of every single point on this graph is 4. That's what that equation says. So let's think of some x-coordinates with points of 4 on them. So, I don't know, one x-coordinate could be 4, 0. Another x-coordinate could be 4, 1. It could be 4, I don't know, 7. You could even get a negative value like 4, -3. So if we think about it, all of those points have one thing in common. X is 4. So let's plot them out and see what kind of curve or maybe line that we get. Now, all lines, just as a quick note, are known as curves. Curve is like a general form for saying something that we've drawn out that has more than just one point on it and connects those points. It's a little strange, right? Curve, you think something that is curvy. A line is considered a curve. Okay, so 4, 0 we'll plot out. That's over 4, up nothing. So that's right here. The point 4, 1 is over 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1. 4, 7. Well, that's going to be over 4, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll put that point right there. And then 4, -3. Over 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3. 1, 2, 3. So if, no matter what, x is 4, it looks like we are locked into an x value of 4, but our y values can be anything they want to be. And that is the graph of x equals any number. So we're going to have a vertical line. So I will draw a line, just like that. And if only I could draw a straight line, which I can't, we've got a nice vertical line. Okay, so what's the point of this? The point is to look at this equation and not just memorize it as x means vertical line. No way. Translate it. X is 4. We have a vertical line at x equals 4 because the y values can be anything they want to be, but x has to be 4. Well, now let's take a look at y is -2 or y equals -2. This is going to act in much the same way. We need to think of points where the y value, no matter what, stays -2. Okay, well, we've got, let's list them out. It could be 0, -2. We could have 3, -2. Heck, we could have -5, -2. The x values can be anything they want to be so long as the y values are all the same exact y value because y is -2. Let's plot them out. So you get 0, -2. That's one point right there. A second point, 3, -2. Over 1, 2, 3, down 2. And another point, -5, -2. Left 5 from the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 2. And you might have guessed this, since x equals is a vertical line, that y equals is a horizontal line. But it's nothing to be memorized. You know it because no matter what, the y value stays at a level, it is -2. So we're just going to very simply sketch a line over all those points, put arrows, of course, and I'm going to erase that extra little tail right there because the line goes on and on forever. So, moral of the story here, y equals is a horizontal line because the y value is always something set. X equals a number, that means that x is that number the entire time, so you lock in on that x value. Super, super rad. On the other side of this video, I'm going to do 2 more examples, much the same, just to make sure we solidify it. But if you're good off of this, then you're great with graphing horizontal and vertical lines. Here we are on the other side of the video with a little bit of bonus content. I'm going to do 2 very brief problems of how to graph y equals 3 and x equals -1. So, as we saw in the earlier part of the video, when you have y equals, we will have a horizontal line because we are saying y is at the same level the entire time. It is 3. All the points on this line must have a y value of 3. So, let's pick some points. Well, some points for y equals 3, that would be a point like 0, 3, and I'm just going to go ahead and plot them. Be a little quicker than I was earlier part of the film. Y equals 3, well that could be at 1, 3, or maybe 2, 3. You could be at -3, 3. No matter what, the y value must be 3 the entire time. And you connect the points. What you're also seeing is you really only need 2 points for a line. But I do 3 or 4 to be a little more accurate. And that is y equals 3. That's it. Y is 3 the whole time. Now we're going to do x equals -1. I'm going to erase that previous y equals 3 so that you have a nice clean graph to see x equals -1. This is x is -1, which means all the x values on this curve, this line, must be -1. Well, that'd be a point like -1, 0. Right here. You could have a point like -1, 3, or -1, 5, or -1, -1, or -1, let's say 4. I went a little overboard with the points, but the point being, it's a terrible pun, the point being is all the x values are -1. The y values can be anything they want to be, and that is why x equals -1 is a vertical line through all the x values of -1. And there's my patented, terribly drawn line. So let's make it a little straighter, sketch it in there. Oh man, maybe one of these days I'll take a workshop myself of how to draw a straight line. But the point is, vertical lines for x equals, x is always a number. Horizontal lines for y equals, y is always that number. Now you can rock horizontal vertical lines and not be one of those students that memorizes it and confuses it all the time, because you know why it works.